Isn't it crazy when there's a war that is breaking out and the US confirms their involvement? The markets are still so irrational that they're still trying to recover what they lost overnight. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions, and you literally cannot make this stuff up. So markets have tried to recover the decent drop. I mean, I really don't even think the drop that we had yesterday on QQQ from 533 all the way to lows of 522. I think at one point we were down like 1.7%. Not very much for the severity of what was going on. And they have the audacity to try to recover after the markets open. I mean, it's just to show how irrational markets are and how eager investors, supposedly investors, are to buy the dip and hope that markets continue to recover, right? But things do not actually sound like they are getting better. Things actually sound like they are about to get a lot worse. So yesterday it was assumed, based off of every post that was shared from every person that's part of the Trump administration, that no, the U.S. was not involved. That's what I shared also based off of what it is that I read. And what I learned was that the U.S. was not involved, that they, suggested otherwise for Israel to not attack Iran, right? Or Iran, right, is what I've learned how to properly pronounce it. Then we get this message from Donald J. Trump. I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them that it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world, by far, and that Israel has a lot of it and much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They're all dead now, and it will only get worse. There has already been great deaths and destruction, but there is still time to make the slaughter. But there is still time to make the slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, to come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more deaths, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all. So we were involved. Why? This is the part that just irritates me. There's no consistency when it comes down to what they say versus what they actually do. Why pretend like you were not involved? That's the part that's so irritating about all of this, is like, okay, supposedly the reason that Iran was attacked was that they were working on nuclear weapons. They were told not to. They were getting too close, too strong, supposedly only a few days away. We're always told the same thing. Nonetheless, Israel felt the need to have to attack them. Okay, if that's what you feel the need to do, so be it, but own up to it. Why come in a few hours after and be like, actually, yeah, you're right. We were involved. We warned them. Trump and his team publicly acted opposed to the Israeli strike, but privately raised no objections. The strategy was to mislead Iran into believing no attack was coming, preventing key Iranian figures from relocating. So again, while I don't know how to pronounce his name, Assad told reporters that Trump had urged Israel to hold back during a Monday call. Officials now confirmed that the call was actually focused on coordinating the strike. So it was just a strategic way to not, I guess, put too much pressure for these Iranian figures to relocate. It just, my thing is like, okay, if you wanted to attack them, so be it, right? But the attack already happened. So why was every Trump administration official yesterday saying that they were not involved and that Trump was not involved and that the U.S. was not involved? So now it makes sense on why Iran said that they're going to retaliate harshly against Israel, of course, and the U.S. It makes complete sense because now it confirms that we are involved, right? It's just irritating. So why is this bad news? Well, first off, anytime that there's any form of war, there's times of uncertainty, right? Just like a few years ago when Russia originally attacked Ukraine, obviously Russia, a much more concerning figure. When Russia attacked Ukraine, markets sold off for a few weeks to 1 to 2 months. And when they sold off, they were selling off based off of things getting worse before they got better. And markets sold off quite a bit, right? They're incredibly bearish, to say the least. With that being said, this time it might be a little bit different. Iran's not as big of a threat as Russia was, right? But with that taken into consideration, it's also knowing what Iran controls. The Middle East controls about over 50% of our oil, right? Especially crude oil. And crude oil prices have been going through the roof. This means that if they continue to go up, then the cost of energy is going to go up immensely. I don't really care too much about what we're paying at the pump. If you do, then you might want to fill up your gas tank right now because prices are expected to go up even further. My thing is the domino effect. When energy prices begin to go up, right, because oil prices are going up, then our inflation will begin to skyrocket. Remember, this is what contributed to such a high rate of inflation just a few years ago. So as oil and energy prices begin to go up, expect inflation to begin to follow as well. And just to add to the mix, breaking: Russia, China, Saudi Arabia, North Korea have officially condemned the Israeli attacks on Iran. And again, China, I think they forgot to add, North Korea, China, and Russia are obviously people we do not want to tick off. But again, maybe that's just me. I'll make sure that I do my part in keeping you guys up to date. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated with all of this in the sense of why to the American people are you lying and saying that you're not involved? And then a few hours after, the attack already happened, right? So you could be like, yeah, we were involved or whatever the case might be, where I just don't get any of it. I'm trying to learn more about it. I'm trying to learn why we continue to aid Israel's wars. If Israel sees Iran to be a threat, then sure, they can fight their own battles. But why is it that the U.S. always feels the need to get involved? Always. I mean, Israel seems to have a pretty tough army. Like, why not let them fight their own wars? Why do they always need our help in the mess they get into? Why are they always fighting against all these different countries that surround them? It's just I've never been someone that, based off of what I read, it seems like these countries just hate Israel, right, for what it is and for what it stands for. But it seems like Israel just is always catching itself in the crossfire of these issues. And at some point or another, like, when does it come to an end? When will the U.S. finally stop aiding this, this action from Israel? Because at this point, it kind of seems like, we're Israel's big brother, right? Where Israel starts the fight, and then we will always have to be there to back it up and end it. So we'll see how things continue to develop. Again, markets extremely irrational, trying to recover as of right now since markets have opened 2 hours ago. But we'll see as we go into the close if more uncertainty begins to unfold. It wouldn't really surprise me if things continue to develop and things do get worse before they get better. Markets are bound to sell off. Right? It's not rocket science. It's when uncertainty begins to present itself, especially going into a weekend. We cannot be surprised that uncertainty and things can get worse before they get better, can affect the market in a negative way. So we'll see. Let's stay patient, stay calculated. I'll make sure that I do my part in keeping you guys up to date. Hopefully I earned your thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to watch me trade live as soon as Monday when the market's open, second link in the description down below, and I'll see you then. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.